Once you finish the ALEKS sign-up process, you'll see this screen, which is just kind of a brief introduction to the ALEKS software. So go ahead and click through this screen. And you see this tooltip pop up. That's going to show you where everything is on your main screen. So here's the main menu. Here are notifications. And this suggests what to do next. In general, to move through the software, you'll just press the big button that's in this position, and that'll take you to the next thing to do. Right now it's telling me to take the tools tutorial, so I press this button to get started. And this is just showing me basically how I enter things in ALEKS. So I can clear things by pressing the X. I can undo what I just did by pressing this backward arrow. I can enter fractions either by pressing this button or by hitting the slash key on my keyboard. That's the one underneath the question mark. To enter fractions, once I create the fraction tool, I'm in the numerator. I have to click to go to the denominator. And now we're going to just follow these instructions and see what happens. Type 5, exponent, or it says I can press the caret key. That's the one that's above the number 6, but I'm going to press the button. Oh, and here's how I use the graphing tool. I use the pencil to plot a point. Okay, I just click the pencil where I want it. To use the ruler, I click one point and another point and then draw along it. Notice that unlike a real ruler, you can just keep drawing beyond the ends and it works just fine. There's a built-in calculator here. You don't have to use this calculator if you don't want to. You can use your own calculator. Sometimes ALEKS will tell you not to use a calculator. You can go ahead and ignore that and continue to use your own calculator. Okay, it says I've completed the tools tutorial and unlocked an initial knowledge check. This initial knowledge check is part of your first week responsibilities, so make sure you do this as soon as possible. Typically, it doesn't take very long to finish. So this is just telling me a little bit about how knowledge checks work. In general, whenever you're working on schoolwork, you want to minimize distractions. You will definitely want pencil and paper to do your scratch work. The better you do on each knowledge check, the fewer topics you'll have to learn in the future. When you answer a question correctly on a knowledge check, the software thinks that you know how to do that thing, and therefore you don't need to do any lessons on it. So sometimes the ALEKS calculator will appear. You can use the ALEKS calculator when it's available. As I mentioned, you can use your own calculator whenever you like. Whenever you're in a knowledge check, you have access to this I don't know button. If you come to a question you don't know how to answer, go ahead and use that button. That tells the software that you don't know how to do that problem and that you need to do lessons on it. So I'm going to start my knowledge check. And this is just an algebra question. It's asking me to evaluate this expression. So I'm going to go to my scratch paper and write this out. And I get -37. Once I answer the question, notice I pressed that submit button. The least common multiple of 8 and 6, well, that's 24. Right, notice we have that clear button, that undo button, and here's a question mark that will tell us how to use this tool if we're not sure. Use the compass and ruler to construct the perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB. Okay, that sounds like a very geometry-y question. Chances are you don't know how to do this one, in which case just hit this I don't know button. The first time you press it, you get this little warning that says essentially only hit I don't know if you really don't know, which is good advice. But we really don't know, so we're going to hit I don't know. Find the area of the figure. Again, very geometry-y. And so on. This initial knowledge check can be up to 30 questions long, and you probably don't want to sit there and watch me click through this whole thing. So I'm going to end this video. In the next video, we'll have a brief tour of what you'll see after you finish the initial knowledge check.